So Complex put out a list of top 50 best New York rappers, and well, with these lists, they always get people talking. I feel as if whoever compiles this list, whether it's Complex, whether it's Pitchfork or any of these publications, they just do it to get us talking, to get, all this controversy around these lists. But hey, here I am talking about said list. But I'm going to breeze through this list. I'm going to talk about some rappers that are in this list. I will skip over a few because obviously it's pointless to talk about rappers that I personally haven't listened to or just I'm not well versed around. So I'll be skipping over those rappers. But yeah, let's go. At number 50, French Montana. Just no. At number 48, Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks is criminally underrated. I would have him a few spots higher, especially with some names that they did include in here. But man, Lloyd Banks is one of the most underrated catalogs, one of the best mixtape catalogs of all time, one of the most skilled rappers. I think, hot take, I think he's the most skilled rapper to come out of G Unit. Yeah, that's my hot take. He's just one of my favorite MCs of all time. 48, I'll have him a few spots higher for sure. At number 46, we have Styles P, 1/3 of the Locks. I'd have him a few spots higher as well, especially with some names that are in this list. But 46 is probably fair. Fabulous at 43, probably a fair rating as well. But man, also an underrated catalog. Specifically his mixtape catalog, extremely underrated mixtape catalog, man. A$AP Rocky at 40, he definitely gets carried by his catalog. Not to say that he is a bad rapper. I think, especially his early days, definitely he was a great rapper, definitely. And I think he's still a good/great rapper. But his catalog is definitely where it stands out. This guy has never missed any of his albums and obviously having one of the greatest mixtapes of all time. So would I say 40 is fair? I'll probably have him a few spots higher. Definitely have him a few spots higher. But it's not the worst take. ODB at 34, may his soul rest in peace. Would have him a few spots higher, definitely, with one or two names above him. But I'm not too mad at that. Foxy Brown at 33. Look, if we're just going strictly rapping ability, I think she can give some names above her a run for their money. But 33, probably fair as well. Jizza at 32. I definitely think he can rap circles around some people above him. And Liquid Swords being one of the greatest rap albums of all time. 32, I'd have him a few spots higher for sure. Big L at 29, man. One of, if not the greatest what if in hip-hop history. Gone way too soon. If we're just going on skill alone, top 2, top 1. Ask Nas about Big L and he'll tell you what it's about. But yeah, just because of his short catalog, but 29 still with even his limited catalog, I'd have him way higher. I'd have him top 10. Definitely. Pop Smoke at 27, another one gone way too soon. This guy was well on his way to greatness, man. Some people were calling him the second coming of 50 Cent for obvious reasons. That voice, that grittiness. He really brought back that drill sound to hip-hop. Gone way too soon. 27 is probably fair. Definitely. Would I probably have him a bit lower, honestly? I think some names that I've already named are better than him, especially on a rapping ability. But just on the impact that he made in his short span, yeah, man. Yeah, so I think 27 is fair. Yeah, I think it's fair, actually. Raekwon at 26 is criminally low. Look, probably not the best catalog, especially from a Wu-Tang's perspective. I think Ghost has by far the best catalog from the Wu. But he has arguably the best solo album, and just one of the best rap albums of all time in the Purple Tape. So, but 26, criminally low. This guy can rap circles around some names that are above him. Cardi B at 25. Invasion of Privacy is doing a lot of heavy lifting. All due respect to Cardi B. I definitely have her lower. Q-Tip at 24. I'll probably have him a few spots higher for sure. And no Five Dog as well on this list. Criminal. But yeah, Q-Tip probably would have him a few spots higher, definitely. Method Man at 21. One of the greatest flows, one of the greatest voices in hip-hop history. Not the best catalog, especially from a Wu-Tang's perspective. And I think the best rapper from the Wu is Ghost. And I think Ray is even better than Method Man. But 21 for Method Man, I'm not too mad at this. I'll probably have him a few spots higher as well. But I think 21 is actually fair, yeah, definitely. Slick Rick at 20, obviously this is a bit of an asterisk, him being from the UK. But he is a New York rapper. Definitely would have him a few spots higher. One of the greatest storytellers in rap history. Big Daddy Kane, one of the pioneers of the genre. Yeah. 19 is fair, to be honest, because I think some rappers, and actually a lot of rappers that came after him, did elevate the style, but he's definitely one of the pioneers of this game, let alone in New York. But 19, fair. Yasin Bey at 18, aka Mos Def, way too low. I don't care about his limited catalog. This guy on skill alone, Black on Both Sides and Black Star alone, is enough to put him in the top 10. I have him top 10 all time, let alone New York. So this, way too low. Hater Kiss at 16, one of the greatest feature rappers of all time, one of the most skilled rappers of all time. I'd probably have him 16, 15 on an all-time list, let alone New York. Big Pun, gone way too soon, may so rest in peace. 15, Skill Point, top 5 on a skill level alone. Obviously limited catalog, but Capital Punishment alone definitely would have him a few spots higher. MF Doom at 14, may so rest in peace. Another one with a bit of an asterisk, just like Slick Rick from the UK, but obviously a New York rapper. Skill alone, top 10 easily, and he's not 10. Also having one of the greatest catalogs in hip-hop history, easily a top 10 catalog in rap history, let alone from a New York list. 14, I would have him a few spots higher for sure. Ghost at 13, I would have him a few spots higher considering some of the names that are above him. One of the greatest rappers of all time, plain and simple. Prodigy at 11, may so rest in peace, man. 11, yeah, I think this is fair. Couple names, one or two names that are above him that are just not better than him in any stretch of the imagination, but 11 is fair, for sure. KRS-One, look, admittedly, I've only listened to 2 of his albums from back to front, which are I Got Next and Return of the Boom Bap, which those are some of the greatest rap albums of all time. I haven't listened to any of his other albums, but man, KRS-One at 10, I can see it. I can see it. One of the pioneers of this rap game, yeah. I can see it for sure. Busta Rhymes at 9, one of the most skilled rappers of all time, one of the best feature rappers of all time. Not the best catalog. Definitely there are quite a few rappers on this list and just in general that have better catalogs. But Busta at 9, I'm not opposed to it, but I would have him a few spots lower. Definitely with some names that I've already named like Ghost, Method Man, Raekwon for sure would be above Busta in my list. Prodigy for sure, just to name a few. Mos Def. So yeah, I would definitely bump him a few spots lower. DMX at 8, one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's in my top 10 rappers of all time. Definitely in that 10 to 15 range, you know, but yeah, he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. Him being at 8 on a New York list, yeah, definitely not mad at this. His soul rest in peace. Nicki Minaj at 7, look, she's had one of the greatest runs in hip-hop history, especially with Young Money. But at 7, look, I'm not opposed to it, especially if you're just looking at impact, which Complex did mention, yet again, that they measured impact, skill, and just the overall package. Definitely would be a much lower in my, well, not much lower, but at number 7, ahead of the likes of Prodigy, ahead of the likes of DMX, ahead of the likes of Ghost, you know, I'd definitely have her a bit lower. Maybe in that, where would I have Nicki Minaj from an all-time list, let alone from a New York list? I don't know, maybe 20, 30? That range right there, 7, it's a bit high for me. 50 Cent at 6, similar to Nicki Minaj, all due respect to his run, one of the greatest runs, especially from a breakout standpoint. Get Rich or Die Trying, being one of the most impactful, greatest rap albums of all time. 6 though? Rakim at 4, yeah, this is accurate, Him being one of the pioneers, the originators of that multi-syllabic rhyming, that alien-like rhyming, alien-like rapping. He's the originator of this style. He is the originator. Him being at 4, not mad at that for sure. Now, just to skim through those top 3, it's Jay-Z at 1, Biggie at 2, Nas at 3. The names, valid. Order, I personally have Nas at 1, Jay-Z at 2, Biggie at 3, may so rest in peace. But the names are valid, man. It's splitting hairs, and at this point, it really becomes about preference. But the names, valid. Order, definitely Nas at me would be at number 1. Easily at that. But yeah, what do you guys think of this list?